What's up, y'all? This is Philgamesh. I got back from San Diego Comic Con Monday night. So, I have a ton of books that I'm going to show off, but I'm going to wait until the weekend because I don't have all of them on me right now. A friend of mine has some of them, so I got to go pick them up on Saturday, and then hopefully on Saturday I can record a video and show everything that I got. It's going to be pretty awesome because I got a lot of great stuff. I didn't get everything I was looking for, but I got a ton of great stuff. So anyway, um, today's Wednesday, July 24th, and I went to the comic book store, picked up my books from this week and last week because I wasn't here last Wednesday. Um, so yeah, okay, let's just get into it. First off, we got The Wicked and Divine, number 44, Image Comics, Kieran Gillen, Jamie McKelvey. This is the second to last issue of that series. Oops, sorry, I hit the table. You got Gideon Falls, number 15. Change the lighting up a little bit. All right, there we go. Jeff Lemire, Andrea Sorrentino, great series. And, oh, hang on. This next book is actually kind of thick, so it doesn't fit on my little stand with the others. We got Lazarus Risen, I believe this is number 2, with Greg Rucka and Michael Lark. If you haven't been reading it, it's a great kind of science fiction, future political thriller slash war story. And then we got Ascender number 4, Jeff Lemire again, Dustin Nguyen. And lastly, from my indie comics pile, we got The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, Tempest number 6. Obviously a 2000 AD pastiche. As everything with The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen is a pastiche of something. But yeah, Alan Moore, Kevin O'Neill, sorry. And yeah, I guess I heard Alan Moore is retiring, so that's sad. I don't know if this is the last book that he's ever doing or what, but I don't know. We'll see. Great writer. If he does retire, he will be missed. Just like we already missed George Perez. All right. DC Comics. I think this came out last week. Justice League 28. Nice Terry Dodson cover. Normally I pre-order Justice League, but for some reason I don't know, overlooked this issue. Or at least I hope I did, because I didn't see it on my on my list of books that I pre-ordered. So if I get my box of pre-orders in next month and this is in it, I'm going to be annoyed. All right. One of the big releases for this week. Sean Murphy, Batman: Curse of the White Knight, number 1. I got cover A. I grabbed this off the stands because I pre-ordered cover B. But yeah, the Batman White Knight series that Sean Gordon Murphy did, last year, was a massive hit. Really good. So here we got the sequel. Hopefully it lives up to it. I'm sure it will. This also came out last week. Collapser number 1 from DC's Young Animal line. Gerard Way. Yeah, I guess this is the first appearance of a new character. Some dude, I think he's like a DJ or something, and he's got like a black hole at his heart or something. I don't know the details. I haven't read it yet. But yeah, that's cool. Nice cover. Give it a shot. Move some stuff out of the way. And we got these cardstock covers that DC's doing for the Year of the Villain event, I guess. So we got the Jenny Frison cover for Wonder Woman 75, featuring the cheetah. Or maybe it's just cheetah, not the cheetah. I don't know. And we got Teen Titans number 32 with the main man, Lobo. Alex Garner cover. This one's great. They actually, I was considering getting the, what do you call them? Graphics Press or something like that. I can't remember. Or no, Graffiti Press maybe? I can't remember. But anyway, there's one company that will do like foil versions of covers that came out recently, and they put them out at San Diego, and they had a bunch of these a bunch of foil versions of these cardstock covers, and they had this one. This was the one I was most interested in getting, but I didn't pick it up because I'd already spent so much money on other stuff. I decided to pass on it. But yeah, this is probably my favorite one of these. I mean, just looking at the pictures of them in previews and on the stands, the ones that have come out so far, this is my favorite. Okay, yeah, that's the last DC book that I've got off the stands for the past 2 weeks. So, moving on to Marvel. This came out this week. This is a second printing of Marvel Comics Presents number 6. I missed out on the first printing. My shop actually didn't get it in because they got shorted by Diamond on almost every single Marvel comic that came out that week. Like they didn't even have Amazing Spider-Man on the stands that week, and then Diamond sold out, so they couldn't reorder any. And I went around to a bunch of different shops looking for it, but I had no luck. So this is what I have to settle for, is a second print. Maybe I'll come across the first print at some point. I just really hate the idea of spending like somewhere between $60 to $80 for it. But it's the first appearance of yet another one of Wolverine's innumerable offspring. At this time, it's some blonde chick with claws. So, there's that. There's also a 1 for $25 incentive variant of this second printing, but my store didn't have that one. That one actually had her on the cover. This one has Ghost Rider, obviously. But I like Ghost Rider. I like Danny Ketch. Danny Ketch was my Ghost Rider when I first got into comics. Back in the 90s. Okay. Picked up the variant cover for Jane Foster Valkyrie, number 1. This is the Megan Hetrick cover. I find Megan Hetrick to be an interesting artist personally. I haven't actually seen her do a whole lot of comic stuff, but I discovered her on DeviantArt like 5 years ago or something like that, and I thought her work was awesome. I was like, because I was still in the middle of making my own comic, and I was like, you know what, I should put her on a list and see if she'd be willing to draw something for me someday. So I never have tried to contact her or anything, but maybe at some point. But yeah, so that's a cool cover. I would go ahead and grab it. And then from last week, the big book from last week, Captain Marvel number 8, the first appearance of some character named Star. Everybody went crazy for this book, and it vanished off the stands. I was actually in the airport, headed to San Diego, and called up my store and asked them to set it aside for me because I knew it was going to disappear. And if I didn't get it then, I would never get it. So they were gracious enough to do that for me. And I'm glad to have it. And I also asked them to set aside the Carnage version of the cover, because that's just a really, really sweet looking cover. In Hyuk Lee, his stuff is always pretty cool, and this is definitely no exception. Okay. And then there's this, which I think came out last week, actually. It was just like a free preview magazine for the Jonathan Hickman X-Men books. But it's got it's got sample pages and design sketches and everything. So it's got a lot of first appearances, I guess you could say, in preview, of a whole bunch of new characters, including like this one who's got the soul sword and whatever else, and there's more on the inside. So yeah, my store just had a handful of these sitting by the register, so I grabbed one. It's kind of cool. And then finally we got Jonathan Hickman's House of X #1. I pre-ordered the regular cover for this, but I was just kind of looking through them at my store, and they had this premiere variant. I was like, oh, I don't know what that is. They only had 2 copies, so I looked it up, and apparently it's it's something that Marvel just sent out 2 copies to every store. So every store should have one, I guess, if they ordered House of X at all. But they'll have no more than 2 copies, so that's kind of interesting. They were actually tucked at the back of a stack on the shelf, so I was like, oh, you guys tried to hide this from us, but I grabbed it. Left the other copy. So that's it. That's my haul for this week. I'm really looking forward to doing the San Diego video, and yeah, I will see you all this weekend.